I still remember that morning with painful clarity. The sunlight streamed gently through the blinds, painting golden lines across the kitchen floor. It was one of those mornings that seemed too calm, too ordinary, the kind that tricks you into thinking everything in your life is steady, safe, unshakable. But that morning was anything but safe. My hand trembled as I reached for my coffee cup, the steam rising in soft, swirling ribbons. For a few seconds, I fixated on it. The way it moved, weightless, disappearing into nothing, because looking anywhere else meant facing what I had just seen. Linda's phone sat on the counter, unlocked, its screen glowing like a spotlight on the end of my life as I knew it. I hadn't gone searching for anything. It was just there, open, unguarded, and on the screen, a message burned itself into my mind. I wish last night never ended. You make me feel so alive. He doesn't even notice me anymore. I stared until the words blurred together. My breath caught somewhere in my chest. My name wasn't mentioned, but it didn't have to be. The tone, the rhythm, the intimacy, they were unmistakable. I knew that voice. I knew the language of a secret I was never supposed to read. Linda had always been careful, or maybe, I realized too late, I had always been blind. We met when we were 22. I was quiet, grounded, the kind of man who found comfort in hard work and slow progress. I was building a small construction business back then, just borrowed tools, long hours, and stubborn dreams. She was light to my shadow, vibrant, magnetic, the kind of woman who could walk into a room and draw every eye without trying. She believed in me long before I ever believed in myself. I used to joke that she was the foundation I built my life on. 30 years, 2 kids, 1 mortgage, and 1,000 dinners later, I thought we'd built something indestructible. But as I stood there staring at that message, I realized I'd been living inside a memory of our marriage, not the reality of it. Tom. Her voice floated from a hallway, soft and familiar. I set the phone down, so fast my hand left a faint mark on the counter. My heart thudded painfully in my chest as she stepped into the kitchen, still in her robe, hair damp from a shower. She smiled that same well-practiced smile, the one that used to melt me, and reached for the coffee pot. "Morning," she said lightly. "You're up early." "Yeah." I managed my throat tight. Couldn't sleep. "You okay?" she asked, her tone casual, almost affectionate. It was such a normal question, but it didn't sound normal anymore. I studied her face. The same face I'd kissed every morning for 30 years. The same one I used to trace with my fingertips when we were young. But that morning, I didn't see my wife. I saw a stranger pretending to be her. "Yeah," I said finally, forcing a weak smile. "Everything's fine." And in a way, everything was fine, because now it was finally clear. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I went through the motions of the day like a ghost inhabiting someone else's life. We ate dinner together that evening. Roast chicken, her favorite. She laughed at something on TV, asked about our son's new job, and kissed me goodnight like nothing had changed. But every word, every gesture felt rehearsed, artificial. That text replayed in my head over and over, like a song I couldn't turn off. I lay awake all night, staring at the ceiling. I imagined her coming home from him, slipping into bed beside me, her skin still carrying the faint scent of a perfume that wasn't hers. I counted the small cracks in the plaster above me just to keep from breaking down. By morning, exhaustion had dulled the pain just enough for me to move. When she went to shower, I picked up her phone again. This time, I didn't hesitate. I scrolled, and there it was, months of messages, small details, carefully planned meetups, a conference that never happened, a hotel by the lake we once took our kids to fish. Each message was another knife, carving away parts of life I thought we shared. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just sat there, staring at the phone, feeling something inside me die quietly. When she came out of the bathroom, humming softly with a towel wrapped around her hair, I couldn't look at her. My silence wasn't confusion anymore. It was surrender. It was acceptance. Something inside me had broken completely, but it was clean, final. It's strange what your mind clings to when your world collapses. I didn't think of anger or revenge or the man she'd chosen over me. I thought of coffee at dawn before the kids woke up, of her falling asleep on my shoulder during late-night movies, of the times we'd held hands through funerals and thunderstorms and hospital rooms. 30 years of shared moments that I thought meant something, and she traded all of her thrill, a few stolen hours that made her feel alive. By the time she came downstairs, I'd already packed a small suitcase, just essentials, a few shirts, jeans, my toothbrush. She froze when she saw it. "Tom, what's happening?" I turned toward her. For the first time in days, I felt steady. I wasn't angry, just hollow, tired down to my bones.